Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you America's top foundational health coach, Dr. Joe D.
Hey there, I'm Dr. Jody Bear, known as America's top foundational health coach. Over 4 decades, I've been honored and I've been just dedicated and serving those of you that want wellness, and it probably is hellness. You know, it's that wellness hell that you need to be in. Boy, that's a new one I've never thought of, but healing, wholeness, wellness. And in those 4 decades, I've been able to bring over 1.1 million pounds of toxic fat lost with my 35,000 client patients. But after I retired, and as my guest said, I unretired. I came back into beyond brick and mortar to click and order. And all of a sudden, the world is my health clinic, and I love it. These 2 gentlemen came into my life just like that. Because as Les Brown said, we need a concerted leadership and consortium and a community of heart-centered heart leaders, like-minded, serving the creator of all whom they serve and serving with their gifts. These are the men here that are my guests tonight. And as we went out to the click and mortar to finish the rest of my story, over 3,000 COVID, post-COVID, long COVID clients, just with your immune system. You're going to be hearing a lot about building your immune system. And it's just not immunity out there like, oh, well, I want to go ahead and I want to flee my country and I need immunity. No, you need immunity, yes, from fleeing the country, those aliens out there for sure. And when you give that to your body, the body is a miracle-making machine. It can and will heal itself. On our episodes on Thursday, Life's Milkshake Moment, it stands for life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely, and when you do, your life will be oh so sweet. And these top professionals create their kind of ice cream from the foundations up in all 6 pillars of life: spiritual, mental, physical, emotional, financial, and social, so we can do more and be more because we can live more. I can say that for sure, because now it's 70, going into my 8th decade. Now on month 2, boy, howdy, when you feel better, you do better. And feeling good is what you're going to learn about. And feeling the right way and what to do is always what we learn on Life's Milkshake Moment. So I'm going to say, make sure that you follow us now that we have rebranded our YouTube site. Just go ahead and like and follow and share, and you will see it. Healthopedia 365, because it takes a village. Just like I learned to be a part of these wonderful men's lives, I guess I attracted it. But go to Healthopedia 365. You'll find one daily tip that will make all the difference in the world. One thing you can do for that day. There is over 380 programs back there in all of these 6 pillars of life. And of course, it's about our vertical. I've been so busy, I realized I don't even have that on the bookshelf yet, but this is what it is. Our book, Healthopedia, putting together the puzzle pieces in foundational health. These 2 men are those puzzle pieces, and they put it together in their own unique fashion. And yes, we will be starting our book tour for our New York Times bestseller, Push Through September. We will be starting that end of May. We will be, Dr. Bill, we're going to be out there in Santa Monica, California at the end of the summer. And then, of course, what else happens at the end of the summer, which I'm very delighted to say, that our next book is now the book, The Essence of a Woman. The Essence of a Woman. What is this? Well, take a vote. Go ahead and comment. Do you like The Essence of a Woman? Unleashing the feminine soul? Or maybe we need to think that this needs to be more of a blockbuster. We go, The Essence of a Woman. Unleash The power of the universe. Because when you have both sides, feminine stability, male mercy, mercy me, you've got something else. And because of my guest here tonight, Dr. Bill Janeshak, it's always that 2 degrees of separation. He was able to give me an introduction to Dr. Glenn Depke, who is his compadre out in their office complex. Dr. Glenn Depke is known as the happy hormone doctor. He will be writing in The Essence of a Woman along with my partner, Dr. James Marinakis, because women need this. And guys, don't worry. We thought of you too, because when we come around to doing it again, the first of the year, we will go ahead and make sure that we're going to say from the essence of the woman, real men are aware, because we need men in our lives. We need professionals that do, and men that are stand-up men, that aren't wimpy men, and that will be men that can take us way on down the road. So what I can say to you is this: take a look. And this is one of the things that you can take way on down the road. What is that? Well, it is our Vibra 360. You know, that's 6 mushroom blend, not only reishi, shiitake, cordyceps, lion's mane, and acacia blazei. It has it all in there. And when you can have, plus maitake, this is Dr. Jody. Well, it's formulated. Dr. Jody oversaw it for sure. But Dr. Jody says when you can have the right coffee in your system, you will keep your body alkaline, which means that you will be immune heightened and disease-free, keeping that alkalinity going. So Vibra 360, take a look, go to vproducts.store. Like I said, it is certainly highly what I can say. It's just the real deal. But the most important thing about it is this, is that you can go ahead and get it at 50% off. Yes, this week, the owners of the company are running a special so you can get your favorite coffee, alkaline coffee, great tasting coffee at 50% off. Who, with groceries prices this way, who doesn't like a sale? So take a look, take a feel, take a listen, and take me finding this commercial here. I love it when I have my assistant, not today, Vibra 360. So thank you for saying, I've got a couple of cook up. Oh, you look amazing. Probably because I'm bringing up 2 of the most amazing men for our show, even right here, right now. And that can make you feel amazing. And as another one of our people that are watching the show said, it takes a village. This is truly a village. And I am beyond excited. I am beyond honored to have and reintroduce. Number one, Bill Janeshak has been on my show. He has been on Mindset Monday. He's been on Life's Milkshake Moments. Now he's back at time. Bill, I just think I just need to introduce you as my younger brother, because he's also is a part of our Doctor Talk. Come play in our health sandbox. We do this symposium on one health topic every single 4th Thursday of the month. This coming Thursday is no exception, 12 noon. We'll be there with toxicity, EMF, and biohacking. Sure to be a winner, for sure. But speaking of winners, he is an award-winning chiropractor. Not only is he a chiropractor, but a functional neurologist. He gets down into it. Like I said, this is going to be about the mighty mitochondria, without a doubt. Clinical hypnotist. He's renowned as the integrative approach to just taking care and commanding complex health issues, even though he calls it his meat suit. All right. from headaches to back pain to ADHD. He does it all, and he does it to the root, like foundational health, getting down into the foundations of what really is causing the disease, being ill at ease. He's been honored. Welcome to the club, Bill. As I had Rex Sykes last week, I said, welcome to the club, Rex. The Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, yes, because he's a servant leader. And he's best known for his integrative medicine voice. He's a best-selling author and the dynamic host, with a D, the Conquering the Stress podcast. And along with Dr. Bill, I can say I have Kevin Lucas. He's a health and wellness advocate, public speaker, entrepreneur, philanthropist, international speaker, a consultant, but he's known to committing his best to patients' conditions so they can manage them with chronic pain. And he has created what I believe as an advanced structural integrator with New Hope Regeneration. I'll be talking about how I was the happy participant of this, but with his neurological absolute education in 2015, he started New Hope Regeneration so we can all regenerate. And it is with my absolute most esteemed pleasure. Welcome, Dr. Bill, and welcome, Dr. Kevin. My goodness, I am going to be beneath these two handsome men on this screen. As I said on our LinkedIn, my LinkedIn Live today, I said, join us for a groundbreaking health expose of two amazing healers. Let's get down to the mighty mitochondria, shall we?
Well, awesome. Thanks, Jody. I appreciate that. Kevin, nice to see you again.
My man, what's my California brother up to today?
I mean, for sure. And how you all know we're going to get into this, and I'm going to be the tofu between you two great slices of bread because I am vegetarian. But Kevin, let's just start with you. I want to know the story of how you were drawn into alternative healthcare. There's always a drawing story.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, I was a stay-at-home dad. My wife had just joined the military, and my youngest son was having some health issues. And I come from a long line of family members who did everything their doctors told them to do, and they just were worse off for it. So God just blessed me with the greatest gift, which is asking for something different and something more, and seeing that that was necessary. Started my journey into health and wellness by initially attending massage therapy school. At the end of that first week, I just fell in love with the idea of helping people in a more natural way. Followed that up with receiving my education in neurobiology, embryology, pain science. And my focus was in the manual therapy world as an advanced structural integrator, where I work with Parkinson's patients, MS patients, and special needs kiddos. All of that stemmed from having a little one who himself was not feeling well and had all sorts of internal issues that nothing helped. And so fast forward 27 years later, and here we are.
Oh, how beautiful is that? And Bill, I know we've had your story, but your story, I could listen to it 10,000 times because it is that great how alternative healing found you. Please share.
You know what? It's sort of like Kevin's. And I think everybody that I've talked to that gets into, I don't even call it alternative health, just health.
Amen.
Well, I grew up and I had a seizure disorder. When I was 4 years old, I just flopped around on the floor. Of course, you know, that was in the late 60s. I'm going to give my age away going on there. But so there wasn't really much treatment. You go to the doctor, they stick some wires in your head. They say, there's something going on. Then they medicate you. And, you know, traditional family, you go to the doctor and the doctor knows everything. So you follow doctor's orders. And so for 20 years, I would go in, they'd say, you know, how's your seizures? About the same. We'll take more medication, just kind of get on with it. And it wasn't until I went my mother dragged me into a chiropractor. You know, those quacks. I'm like, what are you doing there? You know, why do I have to go there? I don't have any pain. I played baseball. I was signed by the Mets. So I had just been retired. We call that retired when don't want to say we were cut, but
there we go.
I was in fairly good shape, no pain, working out. And then the chiropractor looked at my spine as a checkup And he said, well, your neck is out. That's pressure on your brain stem. People like this, they can have migraine, stomach problems, epilepsy, brain fog. And I'm like, well, how did he know that? Oh, my mom must have told him. And I told him I had the epilepsy. And he said, well, we don't know what we can do with that. But if there's pressure on the brain system, if your brain doesn't work, then you can have problems. And these are some of the ones that are associated with it. I'm like, all right, well, let me try it. First time I got adjusted was life-changing. Because I felt good going in. But after I got adjusted, my brain and my body got connected again, I felt amazing.
Yes.
But that's exactly how you're supposed to feel all the time. But I didn't know that because I had been down-regulated with medications for so long.
Sure.
I was not a good student. I wasn't a bad student, but I was a jock student. You get by, and luckily, PE would bust my GPA just high enough to get me over that lump. And then I just kept questioning them because I was a little smart ass. So I wanted to prove them wrong, because how could these quacks possibly know more than the guy with the Mercedes and the stethoscope and the white coat? They were the traditional authority.
Sure.
And I remember where I was standing when he said they don't know. And I went, what? He says, are you deficient in Dilantin? Or, your brain, you're just off. So I kept getting cracked and kept feeling better. And, a short year later, I look back and I'm not having any more seizures. And for anyone listening, I did this myself. The chiropractor didn't tell me to, but I started weaning myself off medication, because I just then, at 22 years old, found out that medications weren't really good for you. They had side effects we never talked about. So when I finally got off the medication, because the seizures didn't bother me, really. It was like having a bad cold a few times a year, and next day you're good to go. But it was the medications that I found out kept me down. Yes. So it was just life-changing. I went from that kind of student to Dean's List to information just absorbed. My performance went better. It was just amazing. So I just
Lifetime Presidential Achievement Award. See, it didn't
on top of everything. That's exactly what it was.
It was in there the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. There you go.
Well, and by the way, I will tell you, I had it was a very risky, what they called procedure back in 20, as in when I was 24 years old, and I'm still not 24 now. I already said I was 70. So this was a while ago that brought my that I was no longer paralyzed. Now, trust me, I said it was going to be a hotel room, and I didn't call it a hospital. And I was going to get those things out of those screws out of my head and all of that. And I still maintain that my mother was a chiropractic assistant to the rookie. I mean, the renegade. This guy comes into town, and he's not an MD, in Laurel, Montana, one red light. And she was the chiropractic physician. So I had my first adjustment when I was 2 years old. You see, it's cumulative. And so you have these stories that are amazing. You knew massage, you knew what you needed to do. Bill, the why then, did you just wake up and say, I'm doing what he's doing for others? Is that how that happened? Your why for going to chiropractic school and this kind of thing. I know
it was a come to Jesus moment, because it's like somebody born again. Once you hear the truth and you have that experience, and both of you have done the same thing, or you wouldn't be there. And it actually changed so much, because health and physiology and life and everything else, there's so many rabbit holes. There's always something else to know. But when you kind of know the truth, I remember thinking, because I just assumed that nobody else knew it either. I'm like, people have to know about this.
Yes.
I have to change the world. And that's what I did. Why? Because you think about, my favorite quote is the mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation,
Yes.
die with a song in their heart. We're beat down, and we're
Yes.
beat down with society. We're beat down by what normal is. We're beat down by following, just like Kevin. It was like we follow the directions that we're supposed to, and we get the results that are, expected, which aren't always great.
Right.
So it was my why. It was like there was a never ending learning that I had to do, but also I could affect people. And I figure I have a louder voice than this guy that was talking to me. And I just had to get it out. It became a purpose. And I think when you quit looking for a job and you start looking for a mission,
Yes.
Right. Yeah,
it never stops, and you never get tired.
Right.
No. And it's a mission. And you started with massage, and then you saw, wow, this stuff really works. So what was your why? I got to do this. I mean, Your Belinda Family Chiropractic. That's where you can find Bill. If you're at least as close west of Texas, I would do that. Bill, when I was really traveling, BM, before marriage to Bob Bear, Monday through Friday, it wasn't that I had a man in every city. I had a chiropractor.
Yeah.
So just saying, I mean, I really, really did, getting off that plane. And so you just said, I'm going to go for massage. I'm going to do this New Hope Regeneration thing. How did you find this, Kevin?
Yeah. So for me, at that time, I had been in private practice, and we had moved beyond massage and were, practicing structural integration, which is focuses on working with the nervous system and other connective tissues of the body, was super helpful. But what really made me make the shift to focusing on stem cell therapy was I had a big aha moment where I realized that I was helping my clients manage their decline. Right. So my clients' bumpers falling off, I put some duct tape on there. Hopefully we get a few more miles out of them with that. And we were helping people, but we weren't really seeing what I felt was possible, what God was saying. There's more available today. And I started exploring the world of stem cell therapy. And once my clients started receiving, regenerative therapy, we were seeing changes in our clients with Parkinson's, with MS, our, internal issues that my clients had never seen improvements in before. Their medical doctors were taking them off of their blood pressure meds. They were, able to take them off of their, diabetic meds, their seizure meds. And we had never seen that before. And so for me, that's where, our new business now, New Hope, right, came from, because people who had lost their hope, people who had done all of the things, they had all the other interventions, and many of them do help and work, but they were still struggling. And God moved me from Washington State to Florida. I was introduced to a group of doctors. They asked me to come in and teach a pain science conference to their facility. And I said, well, what do you guys specialize in? They said, well, we specialize in stem cells. And I had some bad experiences with some of the startup companies back in 2015. The business model was pretty savage. There were a lot of clinics that were looking to make a ton of money off of clients because it was new and exciting. So I really, at first, was like, nah, I don't want to go that route. And then I met these, amazing individuals, and I went and spent a couple of days in their clinic, and we were seeing, their clients were telling me they had improvements that just were impossible, right? Well, fast forward, I was referring my clients to these different, clinics, and then we just were referring so many of our clinics. They approached us and said, hey, would you guys be interested in helping, bring regenerative therapy to the nation? And so in 2015, we just made a hard switch, and now it's all that we have 9 different locations where we are able to deliver therapy around the country. And the biggest thing is, like Dr. Bill said it so perfectly, seeing the down regulation that happens, or the degeneration that happens for people who are sucked into that allopathic gauntlet, right? And now, that doesn't have to be your story, and the rest of your life really truly can be the best of your life. And when I have clients that are 60 and 70 saying, I'm more healthy than what I was at 40 or 50, it's just a dream come true.
Well, and I mean, so rather than a vacuum cleaner, let's just be a leaf blower and get it out there. Let's get it out there. The leaf blower medicine, as I said, the mighty mitochondria. But how did you both get connected? You're in Washington State. Bill's in California. You had to come to Florida so I could meet you and be a part of your clinic. That was the deal. It's all about me. But Kevin, how did you both get connected? I mean, I've heard about the fact that you've got the Venice Beach Millionaires. Was it just you've got a clinic there? But how did you meet this amazing Bill Janeshak? And by the way, we're making no medical claims because the body put in the right condition.
That's right.
It's the body, Bill's body. It's that meat suit. It's that deal. When I say that I was paralyzed from the shoulders on down, yes, there was a mental mindset, but I had I chose the right therapies to bring myself so I could walk out of that hospital room that I called a hotel. But Kevin, how did you both, like-minded, I guess, law of attraction? What was it?
Well, I'm very blessed that, I'm not smart enough nor pretty enough to make it happen on my own. We had a colleague, someone that had in the structural integration world had introduced me to Dr. Bill and to Glenn, and we met and kind of hit it off, and we were doing some therapies in another part of SoCal and ended up connecting. So I don't want to say a random person, but a person brought us together, and we just hit it off. And it was just such a blessing getting to meet someone of Dr. Bill's caliber, someone who really, truly wants to see
humility. Can I say, and humility? Yeah.
100%, right? Working with someone who, no matter what is going on, is always going to do the right thing by the client and by the people that he's connected with. Really, I just pinch myself every day that, I get to do that.
Yes. So so did you want to have what he was having? Like they said, Harry met Sally. So what's your take on this, Bill? How you and Kevin met?
Well, it was funny. It was Glenn Debke had come over and said, hey, this guy, the mutual friend that Glenn used to work with him, and Glenn had his own clinic. And he said, well, we got these people that want to come to California and they need a place to do it. And this was the height of it. So I'm like, who is this guy? What's he doing? Is this adrenochrome or, I don't get it. And we had several different conversations, and I would ask questions and it would go over, and, when you don't know something, so I'm just trying, who is this guy? And I learned about stem cells. And I had heard vaguely about them, but it was for Kobe Bryant and all these people that are going to Germany to get them. Mm-hmm. And then Kevin's explaining, asking questions. And it's the same thing. I think this is exactly why we get along, is because Kevin was obviously leading with his heart on a mission. And a gangsta knows a gangsta. So like, I'm on a mission, he's on a mission. And we're doing the same thing. And so after it came down to it, I said, okay, well, I can't recommend anything that I don't do. So I did 2 cc's of the stem cells, and it was easy.
And they're umbilical stem cells. If anybody's out there listening, umbilical stem cells. I want to make that real clear.
Very clean. And we got the shot done, and I'm like, what happens now? And we just kind of waited, and I'll save the results for a thing. But how we met was, we're on the same mission. We're on the path. If you want to, you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so we just brought them on, and we worked together. And I have, with 1,000%, I tell my patients, I said, I think you need stem cells. Call Kevin. He'll answer any of your questions more than I know. He's the expert. Get them done. And he leads with his heart as much as his brain. And so I'm happy to be on that same mission because it's just synergistic.
Yes. It's two fellows in the same ship, but I'm glad you brought this sister with me. So we're going to take a commercial break with what you're going to love. This is our sponsor, Live Freely, proactive aging. And I can say they are quite the sponsor. What these two brothers, and they're out in California, Bill, their whole deal was when they saw their dad drop of a stroke and they're in Silicon Valley, they said it's not going to happen to their mother. And they were very into their own thing in their business life and their company life. So they created a product that is taking the world by storm. LiveFreely.today. And we're back. Take a look, take a listen.
Aging seniors face a variety of challenges when it comes to their health and well-being. Now, there's a way to take control of aging. Meet Buddy, your personal health assistant. Buddy is a cutting-edge digital health solution that empowers seniors and their caregivers to be proactive in aging. The platform works on smartwatches worn by the senior and paired to their phone. Buddy automatically detects, predicts, and prevents falls. If a fall is detected, your loved one's watch will vibrate and display fall detected, I'm okay, or help me. At the same time, an alert is sent to the caregiver and a 5-minute countdown begins. If the alert is not addressed within the 5 minutes, Buddy will automatically connect to 911. Many times, a loved one is prescribed a walker or cane when they become a fall risk. Through Bluetooth and gamification, Buddy encourages the use of assistive walking devices by providing points that can be converted to gift cards. Buddy also reminds your loved ones to take their medications on time. One of its most innovative features, Buddy uses all the data it collects to create a personalized baseline and measures deviations to alert of potential health issues. Gain greater connectedness, peace of mind, independence, and security through Buddy, your personal health assistant. To learn more, visit www.buddylife.com.
So this is what we have. I decided to change it up. We need the full Monty view. You know why? Because then everybody can see, your foundational this, that, and the other. Sometimes this.
Did you say full Monty view? Is that what you said, Kevin?
I heard it.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to be sure that I wasn't hearing things.
Well, I don't hold anything back. You should know that by now. So here we go. And so this is where I was. Those of you that know, had this paralyzed from the shoulders on down. My neck has a resume. And then you've got a situation that I had a retrolosthesis. And I actually know how to say that, Bill. With a spinal cord fray. And then I just get the ping being rear-ended. I was pretty much done and wasn't able to do yoga, this, that, and the other, and looked into stem cell because as I put this, what you said about asking, Bill and Kevin, it's ask. What does ask stand for? Always get the secrets to knowledge. Mm-hmm. And I went in with this PRP, and then I get this phone call, Kevin. It was like at 11:30 at night on a Friday night. And it was Bill Janeshak because he's such a servant leader. And I went, he said, well, why are you still up? I said, because I was expecting you to call. Oh, Bill, I was doing that thing. So we talked, and I said, when my husband was out, he goes, were you talking to another one of those health boyfriends of yours? I said, oh yeah, this is one that's going to make your neck better. And then Bill, give your version of how you introduced me to Kevin, because I was in some serious pain. I'm going to give you this setup because you said friends don't let friends do PRP. Take it from there, Bill.
Well, the whole thing, and I don't know what was going on with everything, but when you were explaining about that, when we get especially when we get to a certain maturity in life and we're trying to heal.
Yes, maturity.
I've crafted that word through the years, just so that we get the right point across. But the healing aspect of everything that you need. I know your faith system. I know what you're doing, and I know that what was going through your head when you were offered the PRP. And I said, okay, well, I got a guy. He's out there with you. Yeah.
That guy. Yeah. I was dyslexic. It's that guy. That one. Okay.
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing that I tell, you're special, but you're not so unique. But it's the same thing that I tell all the patients that's going on, is that call Kevin. He's going to tell you, one, the truth, because all you want is a friend at that time.
Yes.
Right? An expert, and you just lay it out there. And so I just connected you. I texted Kevin. I said, hey, I got a homegirl out your way. She needs some help. She's in a tight place. Talk to her. And that's all I ever do. And he takes it from there. Like I said, when you have the truth, you just lay it out there. Is this something that we can do? And that's exactly what he did.
People either pick up or they don't pick up. And I will say it was, and I thought it was like talking to you, Bill. It really was. And friends don't let friends do PRP because, as you explained to me, as you get a certain maturity, you don't have those stem cells. So it wouldn't have done any work. And I've got to say, it was a very reputable clinic. It was Western medicine down in Boca Raton, high rent district, Florida, like Newport Beach, Venice Beach, that kind of thing out in California. But when they said that they were going to put me under with fentanyl, and I was, what? And they were going to do a blood draw with me. And I didn't know whether I was going to get my own blood back. I said, call Kevin. It was right place, right time. You were heaven sent, Bill. So my explanation and how wonderful you were to take me in with my insurance and everything else. It was just amazing. So Kevin, you just pick up the phone. What do you remember about that meeting?
Well, one, I just love your soul and your presence and your energy. So when Dr. Bill said, I got a homegirl I need you to talk to, like, I knew we were going to have the best time and a wonderful conversation.
Right.
So that was a big part of it. And two, it hurts my heart. Most allopathic docs are really, truly trying to do their best. Like, I really, truly believe that.
I have one that's a daughter-in-law, an MD at Mott at the University. She's trying her best.
Right.
Yes.
But so often people are led into interventions that, one, are also expensive, and two, ultimately don't work. So when someone experiences something that we maybe know isn't going to work off the get-go because of a variety of different factors, and I can go into the histology and the science behind why PRP is, short-lived, or it really only works for people under a certain maturity level, it sucks. Quite frankly, so when you're going down the gauntlet, and I've done this, and I've done this, and I've done this, for PRP, it's the same. People, we know if you're over the age of 30, essentially most people, like 90% of the people, are not going to have any marked anecdotal or proven benefits. But all of these people get thrown on under this bus, and they go in 4 or 5 times and end up spending like $8 grand, $9 grand, 10 grand on a PRP, and then
it's not grand, and it's not grand because the results aren't grand.
Yes. 100%. And so when Bill's like, can you look out for my girl? She's thinking about doing this. I'm like, we need to have a conversation. Right. And again, if you're 25 years old and you have a single injury, PRP can be a home run. It could be an amazing thing. But we do now know past a certain age, it really isn't going to facilitate the outcomes that we're looking for. But many docs don't update their education, and so they're holding on to those sacred cows, and they think like, oh, this is the way to go, and you do it 3 or 4 times and you're just like, I don't understand. And the crazy thing about PRP, it is one of the biggest money generators because the cost behind it is so low for the office, because it's a few needles, it's a few vials, it's your own blood is the product. And then they turn around and charge, $1,800, $2,500, $3,500 in some clinics. We've had some offices who said, I did stem cells, come to find out they did PRP for $22,000.
Oh my.
So that's why I wanted to help a homegirl, is to make sure she didn't go down that path.
Oh, and thank you for helping this homegirl. So I'm going to say, because of you, Bill, okay, so this neck only went this far and this far since my 3rd accident. This and this. You're a chiropractor. You know the drill. Check this out. How's it looking across your shoulder for the first time in 20 years?
Nice. You're a safe woman driver now.
I'm a safe woman driver even at 70 because, I'm so not 30. 1954, it was Mickey Mantle's rookie year. I know you're a baseball guy, Bill, but this is why you need to check out when you're in California, because when you come in to these guys and you look like, are you ready, Bill? Okay. When you come in and you feel like this, you want to come out feeling like this.
That's right. Look at that handsome man.
Before and after stem cells. There you go.
This is the testimony. I came in like this, and now I'm like this. I had to do that. Bill, when you say
awesome.
I cracked myself up. I mean, that's the best chiropractor? I think you need to use that on your homepage, on your website. Just said, if you have a problem,
that's my dating profile.
We can help.
This is me on chiropractic care, right?
Oh my goodness gracious! I've got a question for you, Bill. Because you were when we do doctor talk, we go into one subject and whatever. But how do you integrate being a clinical hypnotist with your NLP work and then chiropractic? Is it like, okay, you can have this plan, but if you want to upsize the Happy Meal, is that how you do this, or is it? How did that come about? I just want to know both answers.
Because I just treat the patient, or I call them clients, because we have a phase. We can help them through all their phases of it. So everybody's different, but it's like a Venn diagram. Everybody's going to have a physical, chemical, and emotional issue that feeds into the same thing. We can do the whole reason I even studied any of the having to do with the subconscious was because I took a lot of classes, and I always say I have more degrees than a thermometer, but it didn't really matter how much I knew, because when I was a young doctor, before I was mature, I thought that if I was smarter, the patients would get better because they would do whatever I said. And that's not always the truth. So we had to learn about how are they thinking, and that's not physiology. So we'll look at their limiting beliefs, their chemical leaky gut, autoimmune, whatever, the neurostructural stuff. And I just create a package for that person. I say, Jody, you have this history of being healthy, but then you have these orthopedic issues that are causing X, Y, and Z. That's causing a stress response in your body that's ate away at the gut. So you have this leaky gut thing. So you're not processing, and your mitochondria is not healthy and moving.
It's not a mighty. It's a non-mighty mitochondria. Yes.
Yeah. And you're worried about things, and you have, you associate different triggers or something like that. So if we can take the mind, because you're going to have a perfect body, but if you think something negative, you're going to have a physiological response.
Yes.
Right? So we tailor everything together for the person. And sometimes I don't get chiropractic miracles. Sometimes I get just digestive miracles, and maybe they're the same. And honestly, I'm not smart enough to figure out exactly which is the chicken and which the eggs. So I just take the whole flock and all the eggs and take care of all of it.
Well, and and with you, then it's not a dozen eggs. You're the 13th egg in the dozen. I know that.
That's the baker's
and it's so beautiful because it's neurology. It's in the nerves. It's in your That's why we say it's spiritual, but then it's mental, that mindset. That's why we do Mindset Monday every Monday. And then you go into to the physical. So Kevin, when it comes to, because obviously here I am, I'm a raving fan. I can say that I got treated by Kathy Verga. Is that, I was Vergara.
Yeah, Kathy Vargas are one of our providers. Yep.
And up in Ocala, I was 15 miles away, and she said, you might find, find something that happens really quickly. It's only 50 miles home. I was like in homeostasis. I was comatose. I couldn't get to bed faster, but I'm sleeping better. My husband says my mood swings are better because I don't swing as much. I just swing more with him on
Yeah,
the chandelier kind of thing. I've noticed libido changes with this. I just don't. I wake rested and I get more done. And this is, I'm only like 6 weeks into this. So
right. It's
address
really
that with somebody. I had to just say, and you know, we'll give you this Bill, and you can go ahead and Bill, you can make sure that you can do something with Opus and your social media, and you can put this up, and then Kevin, you can go ahead and say, I've got this little testimony from, you know, the holistic nutritionist of 43 years. I mean, because we know it's not the last thing, it's cumulative. I had a result because of everything that I've done. And then this was the milkshake moment for me with stem cell, that it became the whipped cream on top of the milkshake.
You know, and what I like to tell people, like, people are always surprised about, well, okay, I got stem cells, so now I'm going to be like Wolverine from the movies, and I can get shot, spit the bullet out, and my body heals in 3 seconds, and I never need to eat good again. I never need to go to the chiropractor. We're like, no. The beautiful part now is we look at it like, if I'm going to grow a garden, I need the sun, I need the soil and the tools to work the soil, and I need the seed to plant, right? So the analogy that I like to make is that the stem cell is the seed, right? It's going to be able to grow this whole entire organism, right? But if I don't have the tools to manage the garden and I don't have the sunshine, then no amount of stem cells is going to be helpful. So people come to us thinking that we're going to tell them this is the magic fix. And when I'm like, no, please go and get your adjustments. Please go and get your body work. Please go to your nutritionist, you know, do your nutritional IVs, you know, go get your red light sun. They're like, well, why are you telling me that I should still do these things? Because they're going to amplify and take these amazing results to the next level, and vice versa, right? So there is no such thing as the magic bullet, which is what Americans really hope for and pray for, because most don't want to engage in participation. That's not true. They've been led to believe that they shouldn't engage. And then when they rediscover the love of their body and their mind and their spirit, they're compelled to engage, right? And that's so common for the three of us. Like, you know, Dr. Bill, you got more degrees than a thermometer. That was fantastic. That happens when you're turned back on to life and you want to play the game of life.
Yes, and it's the 5 elements of traditional Chinese medicine. It's been around a while. You think? Supplementation, sleep, exercise, guidance and meditation, physiotherapy. We need them all, and because we need all 5 digits of our hand, so it works and grabs well for you and your best life. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I'm going to say that for me, with all of this, I have been just astounded. And I can tell you that we need this as a community. We need this. And I also am going to say that we will be announcing next week, ladies and gentlemen, where our next symposium are going to be. You must speak, Bill. You must speak, Kevin. When we go, we had everyone in Boca from Cirque du Soleil to an astrophysicist. It was quite the deal. So I want to just give one more shout out to everyone in Healthopedia. Be looking for our collage. What we've done is putting amazing. You'll be seeing it on Healthopedia 365. What will it be? Well, it will be all of us telling not only the story of Healthopedia, but we're going to be telling the story of people with their businesses, their mission. This is what I strive to do on Life's Milkshake Moments, because they either need to go and come see me so they can see you, Kevin, for stem cell. But I got a better idea. Plan a family trip this summer to Disneyland. Make sure that Kevin's out with Bill and get your real Disneyland experience with these 2 amazing men. So what I can say more than anything else in the world, I am so glad that I already know that you're going to be writing in Healthopedia. In the second book is The Essence of a Woman, as I said, and then it's Real Men Are Aware. Men, you are real men. You are those kind of men. So we're going to take one round, and then I'm going to show you something kind of cool.
While being mentored and studying with the iconic pioneer in natural healer, Dr. Hulda Clark, and experiencing her life-changing practices and protocols, a goal card was written and dated in 1984 stated, "I will write the Eastern medical version of the PDR, Physician's Desk Reference." The universe delivered a sign to actualize this goal. Now, in 2023, we are experiencing vision and mission into fruition. Healthopedia has arrived, led by the iconic 20th and 21st century icon, Dr. Bernie Siegel, MD, author of Love, Medicine, and Miracles, along with 42 extraordinary healing world changers that will motivate, educate, inspire, and propel you along your own path to wholeness, wellness, and abundance. Every compelling story will uplift you to your own epiphany of health isn't something you do, it's what you become along life's journey.
And since we were playing show and tell, I just have to show you guys here. This, Bill, you haven't even seen this. This is the 1984 gold card.
Wow.
Wow.
And it says March 1984. I will pen the Eastern medical version of the PDR. Signed, Jody Nylander. It wasn't doctor, and I've got a new last name, but I'm still the same girl. So you only know, ladies and gentlemen, what you do know. You know, and remember to ask. Make sure that you always find the secrets to the knowledge. I found Dr. Hulda Clark because I needed an answer. You found a way to get out of your meds, Bill, because you needed an answer. And you knew that your clients, Kevin, were getting the Band-Aid. They were getting the duct tape of life. Find your answer. You can find your milkshake moments, ladies and gentlemen. And my last ad for today, and by the way, she's out in, Kimberly Meredith lives in Santa Monica. We are doing a live on Wednesday, May 1st, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And we are kicking off because Kimberly, we had bad internet in Boca. Jamie Kerr, well, he was having a mother-in-law that was in critical condition with his new bride in London. He had to stay there. Rex Sykes had a personal issue. So they're in the mental pillar. How about the medical medium, Mind a Kite, and the mentalist? May 4th from noon to 2, Kimberly will be doing intuitive readings. We'll be doing a wonderful, wonderful Q&A with these two amazing people. Jamie Kerr's documentary is actually up for a Cannes Film Festival Award. You know what he did? And he knew, Bill, about nutrition for me. I met him through Les Brown during the height of the pandemic. His mother had triple negative breast cancer. He knew about hypnotism. That's where he started. See, with alternative care, or as you said, real health, Bill, just start somewhere. He knew about hypnotism. He heard me say something about health. He called it. I am honored and privileged to say that his mom, now 3 years, absolutely cancer-free, is doing everything the right way, did stem cell, she had a great chiropractic. She did all kinds of emotional cue along with hypnosis, and of course me with nutrition. I love what you say, Bill. I don't want to be an expert at everything, then I'll be an expert at nothing. I will be your health coach. I will be your holistic nutritionist. But his film as a documentary that I am in is one where you don't know until it's the end that he's talking about this is his mom, about finding the essential holistic health cure where her body came through triple negative breast cancer. And it's up for an award. Is that cool?
That's amazing.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
But it became tip to toe with that hypnosis. So it's free. There's nothing like free. And do I say I'm free? And we've got a deal where you can get the book for $5 as a discount on my website that day at Healthopedia 365. We got it all. But right now I've got it all with the two of you. What, Kevin, would you say is your last piece of wisdom? There's so much in there. I mean, I don't know that we can do just one, but give us the last couple of minutes here while we're winding down. And thank you, Jeff, so much.
So first and foremost, you are not your diagnosis.
Yes.
The rest of your life can be the best of your life. And when you're physically struggling, it's harder to be on mission, right? I really, truly believe that God has given us gifts and talents to be of service to other people. But when I'm physically hurting, I'm emotionally hurting, that slows that down or down regulates, as Bill said earlier, and that doesn't have to be your life. So really, truly, the rest of your life can be the best of your life, and you're not your diagnosis.
And that is so, Les Brown says your diagnosis is not your prognosis. Come see Kevin somewhere in Florida, somewhere in 9 locations, somewhere next to Bill over in Disneyland there. So Bill, what is your last piece of wisdom? And come back and see the rest of his wisdom on biohacking and toxicity when we have Doctor Talk this coming Thursday.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and it's always fun. But it's just along the same side. A diagnosis is a snapshot in time. It's not your identity, and there's so much that we know. There's so much that we can do, and if you're looking for an answer, just like you said earlier, Jody, is go out and find it. It's out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to dig a little bit. It might be chiropractic. It might be stem cells. It might be nutrition. It might be meditation. It might be just getting out of toxic relationships and start to eat real foods, getting out of communism and going back to America, and so other things that you can do to get the stress and the strife out of your life. There's answers out there, and we have this wonderful internet thing that is filled with the right sign, and find a mentor to help you kind of figure out the pepper from fly shit, so that you can know the details. What's the right thing to do? So the answers are out there.
The answers are out there. All we have to do is ask. Always find the secrets in knowledge. It is waiting there for you. It's probably as close as the next rabbit hole you can go down to ChatGPT. Gentlemen, I can't even begin to tell you how lovely this was. It was just lovely. I was thinking about this all day. I got my husband off to go to Palm Bay, and he said, "You seem excited," because I'm not really a morning person. I did that long enough with being a swim mom, so I retired that part of my life once they got out of the house. But he said, "You're excited?" I said, "Because I don't have one handsome man as a guest. I have 2." So the hero's journey of that, you can get to the end. If you've had a conflict, Bill, we got 1 more minute. Tell them what a hero's journey is. You just tell that story so well of getting to the other side.
The hero's journey is called the monomyth. It's the basic substrate of every transformational journey that you'll have. You start in a place in an ordinary world. You have a vision, a dream, or something that's either thrust upon you, or it's just been embedded in you by God. You don't know where it's came from, but you do have a dream. You'll take this dream, and then you're kind of thrust into this new world of knowledge. And this is where you learn people, different enemies, different gurus that'll help you through. You learn different skills. And there's a big ordeal. In Rocky, it was fighting up Apollo. In Star Wars, it was Luke overcoming Darth Vader. Every great movie or story that you have will follow this journey, but it's that big ordeal where you finally conquer something. And the first thing that you conquer is your own limiting beliefs, the things that you don't believe that you can do, the things that you're afraid of. Joseph Campbell, who kind of brought the hero's journey to fruition, said the fear that you cave to enter holds the treasure that you seek. So we have to go forward into our fears. And once we do that, there's a death, and there's a death of your old person, the old way of thinking, your old identity. And it rises you up into becoming this other person. Every one of us on a mission has had that moment where we're no longer that muggle, that we've seen our magic in everything else that we're doing. And it's our duty to bring that back home to that ordinary world that we live in, to share with other people. We're all on our journey. And the reason we're here is to transform other people.
Amen.
From no duct tape to getting to the source of the mighty mitochondria, to building it up with stem cell. You can find this amazing man with hope, regeneration, and he's as authentic as his beard. Okay, Kevin. And I guess I fell in love with you when I saw that you had a pink jacket on, because pink's kind of my thing. I certainly will be probably 60% of my client base has been women, and I've been a woman all my life. So that it means a lot to me on that one. And you can find Bill at Your Belinda Chiropractic, but most of all, you can find us here. We have answers for all you have to do is asking. So I didn't get this website down or whatever. I don't know. Just go ahead and look at this. It's that easy. 800-820-0584, 800-820-0584. I promise you, I'll get you hooked up so you can have your hero's journey to come full circle and do what you were meant to do. And all I can say is it has been an absolute honor to have you both here. I can't even begin to tell you from the bottom of my heart, lives were changed and lives will be changed because what you gentlemen do in your life. And as I say, life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. Choose real health. Choose Bill's wisdom. Degrees like a thermometer. Choose regeneration because it's the real deal. The neck moves. My goodness gracious. You know, my husband Bob said, is it going to go all the way around the back and you're going to see me with the back? You never know. But the idea is they chose their ingredients that their diagnosis was not their prognosis in Bill's case. I did as well. And you went ahead and put your own level of what premium. It wasn't going to be a charlatan's version of stem cell. And then your patients and your clients sprinkled it with their best sprinkles. But always remember, ladies and gentlemen, you are on the absolute cherry on the top of your sundae. So life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. When you do, life, it will be oh so sweet. So until we're back next week with Bill, Dr. Mike, Dr. Glenn, and Renee Brown talking about, and she is the CEO of Next Level Recovery, about biohacking toxicity and how to rid once and for all, get these aliens with the EMFs out of our system. They're here for a reason, but we can do this with holistic health that starts foundationally, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, then socially. No wonder you have philanthropist on your resume, your CV, your introduction, Kevin. No wonder you got the Lifetime Achievement Award, Bill, because you're that kind of man. It's an honor to know you. So until next time, remember, in every day and every way, make it a great Healthopedia kind of day. Ciao for now.